This is your Chargers linebacker, Dan Henley, and you're tuning in with Chargers Unleashed.
Welcome to another edition of Chargers Unleashed. Jake Hefner and Dan Wolkenstein here with you from the LA Football Network. If this is your first time tuning in the show, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Dan Wolkenstein, happy Sunday morning to you, sir. Bright and early. Chargers don't play today, but they've got a Monday night matchup against divisional opponent for first place in the AFC West, and it is only week 2. FTR, as they say, Dan. Monday Night Football, Chargers versus the Raiders on the brink. How are you feeling, sir?
Family, trust, respect week. I'm feeling great. The Chargers fan base is in absolute mayhem, rightly so. Chargers are looking to go to 2-0. I've got my coffee in hand, my iced latte, got my big ass thing of water because I need to make sure I stay hydrated. Shout out Denzel Perryman. I am feeling fantastic. Big opportunity ahead for this Chargers team. Please do not screw this up. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling good. We got a lot of folks here in the chat. You know the drill. Live shows, arguably our favorite kinds of shows. Love interacting with Chargers fans. If you have any questions, topics, comments, put them in the chat. We'll do our best to kind of read them, weave them through as we go. To me, Jake, this week is all about who are you? What Chargers team are we going to see in 2025? Are you the Chargers team of old where you play down the competition? It might get a little more interesting than it should be. Trap games are a thing. Or is this team actually different? Is that game that we saw in Brazil the start of something special? The start of a new leaf, so to speak? We'll talk about it. Some interesting insights as we get towards this Monday Night Football matchup, Jake, but important question for you. Two questions. First question, how did you sleep?
I slept like shit.
Okay, great. Good lead. Second question. I don't know if I should ask you, how are you doing today, good sir? But how are you doing?
I'm alive. I'm awake. I got out of bed, had to go do something. I've had the reason, maybe this pairs with your first question, Dan, is the reason that I slept like shit is because I've had a couple days of celebration for, had a game night on Friday night. So played some Game of Thrones Monopoly with a group of friends, and it always usually gets very rowdy when that takes place. So
was it a theme Monopoly or was it the standard Monopoly?
No. It was themed Game of Thrones. The show. We have a themed Monopoly table based on that. And if you have not played Game of Thrones Monopoly, I'm telling you right now, you need to experience it because, like the little chance cards that you normally get, there are cards in there that literally flip the game on its head to where you could just say, whoever it is that you're playing, why don't you go ahead and give me all your properties? And you can't do anything about it. So it definitely gets rowdy. It definitely gets rowdy when we play that, that's for sure. And then had a friend's birthday yesterday that we spent a good day watching the UFC fights. And then, of course, which led into the Canelo fight later on last night. So, yeah, sleep-wise, it was not really a priority for me this week. But ready to talk Chargers Raiders.
Well, a priority for Chargers fans, if you do want to get some action, is our friends over at Sleeper. There's some over-unders that I feel like are pretty easy money. Go look at Justin Herbert's over-under. Go look at the Raiders over-under. Jake, let's talk about our friends over at Sleeper, and let's get into what folks are drinking and how this Chargers team can win.
Yeah, the NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to win up to 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football with Sleeper. Football has never been more exciting than it is right now with players like C.J. Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, you name it. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to 1,000 times payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you could win big. Just use the promo code Chargers, LAFB, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms for details. Currently operating in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today.
Folks in the chat, what are we drinking this morning? I've got an iced latte. Jake, what are you drinking?
Dan?
Yes.
If we've all heard about the red dye that was taken out of Skittles and Starburst, I felt that they were attacking my soul when they did that because those are two of my favorite candies of all time. I go for the citrus type of candies. I happened to peruse around the grocery store this morning before I came back home to do the show.
Said peruse.
And I happened to find an OG C4 Skittles flavor that was still on the shelves.
Oh.
Expired or not.
Or if you'll be alive tomorrow.
This is my last Chargers Unleashed episode. This is the reason why.
Jeez. Chargers fans going crazy. You got folks drinking Red Bull. It's like 8:40 along with Jake and his C4.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Although I can't really talk, but I got caffeine.
I know. You got caffeine.
That's true. It's almost as if it's Raiders week, Jake. You got a lot of folks in the chat excited about this one. Already giving us our keys for the game, or their keys for the game. Jonathan Herrera going hard liquor.
Winning.
We'll see how he's feeling about 3 p.m. It does feel nice, Jake, having all Sunday to just kick back, relax, and watch some football and not have to worry about a stressful Chargers game. That's for tomorrow. But you saw in the injury report, JPJ and the Raiders not playing. Brock Bowers looks like he is trending towards playing, although I'm not sure if he's 100%, but possibly not playing early in the week, but not playing now. Denzel Perriman out. Elijah Molden, late scratch, injured during practice. Sucks. But to me, those are kind of inconsequential.
Interesting that you say
as important as Brock Bowers is, to me, I don't see him being the reason why they win or lose this game, because that is someone that, like, right? Like, when you go up against Patrick Mahomes, you go up against Travis Kelce, all these kind of people, like, they're going to get theirs. You have to just contain it as much as you can. To me, this game is all about keeping them one-dimensional. If you can shut down one side of the ball and then let those who do what they do best go after them, I think you're golden. To me, the biggest storyline here in terms of, like, controlling this game is controlling the run game on defense. If the Chargers can find a way to contain Ashton Jeanty, keep him under 60 yards for the game total, make Geno Smith beat them with his arm, and make him make no mistakes, which I don't think he'll do, this Chargers team should be in good shape. Now, the lead, obviously, is protect Justin Herbert, let Justin Herbert cook. But on defense, you give Steve Klingscale and Jesse Minter the opportunity to pin their ears back, have some fun in that secondary, sit back and react. I feel pretty confident about that group. But I swear to you, if I see a Trey Tucker explosive for a touchdown over Jasir Taylor or Alohi Gilman, I'm going to scream bloody murder to the heavens. That is the thing. If I get an easy touchdown on that side, I'm going to lose it. Jake, what's your 50,000-foot view, overarching vibe of this game?
It'll go deeper into a coaching aspect that we'll obviously talk about later, but I think that the Raiders are going to come out and try to be balanced. You look at the game that they had in their first week against the Patriots. Brock Bowers just literally picked up exactly where he left off, going over for 100 yards. They mixed in Jacoby Myers, who was just under 100 yards for them as well. So it's like all of a sudden, and we haven't even talked about some of those rookie wide receivers, Dan, that you and I had talked about during the draft process that we actually enjoy. So you start thinking about this like, okay, hey, this isn't just the Devontae Adams Raiders that the Chargers went up against last year. Like, you're going to actually have to pay a good amount of attention to some of the weapons that they have. Now, Geno Smith, to his credit, threw for 300 plus. Looked pretty good against a Patriots defense. Now, however you want to measure that is one thing. But, Dan, to me, I think that they're going to want to come out and actually establish the run. Ashton Jeanty obviously got his first touchdown as a rookie last week. I think that they're going to want to stay balanced. Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh are cut from that same exact type of cloth when it comes to controlling the tempo and keeping a balanced offense. And I definitely think that both of these teams, truthfully, are going to want to look to establish the run a little bit better than they did in the first week of the year. But Dan, I get what you're saying as far as like, oh, it's, if you can contain it. Well, the reason that it worries me a little bit more is the fact that you have some of these players out for the Chargers as it relates to Brock Bowers. Like, do not allow Geno Smith to get in a rhythm. Patrick Mahomes can make whatever throw he wants to, whatever receiver he wants, even outside of Travis Kelce. We saw that during week 1 in some, magician-like antics that he put up there.
Literally.
But Geno Smith, if you're able to limit Brock Bowers, and not have him have a game the way it was, I still think he's going to find extra targets. But still, it's just take that aspect away the best you can. First and foremost, take away the run, make Geno Smith beat you. I'd feel a hell of a lot more comfortable than if the Raiders are teeing off at 4 yards a clip against this Chargers defense and just matriculating it down the field. Yeah, there's some aspects to this game. And I'm going to tell you, that the Raiders always play the Chargers tough, regardless of what we want to say about FTR week and this, that, and the other about each one of the franchises. But Dan, Pete Carroll's going to have this team ready to play as well. Jim Harbaugh for the Chargers. It's going to be a very, very competitive matchup on Monday Night Football.
Hanan Derry says the Patriots were too focused on stopping Jeanty and got 360 air yards. The Patriots also didn't have Christian Gonzalez, and their defense is trash. Period. Like, if we're having a measuring stick here going up against the Chiefs defense or the Patriots defense, come on. I also am far more bullish on Jesse Minter and Steve Klingskill in the secondary than I am what that Patriots defense is doing. They are a far, far, far cry for what this Chargers team is looking to do this year. But your point stands. If you can't lean too far, right? You can't put 11 guys in the box all out and just expect your guys to win one-on-one every time. Like, that's not how it works. But if I'd rather put the game in the hands of Ashton Jeanty or Geno Smith to salt the game away, like, I would rather Geno go up against this secondary and make him go. Lots of comments here already. DZ says, kind of wild saying a Vrabel-led team has a trash defense, but I agree. I mean, you go watch that game. Like, I'm sure Raiders fans are excited about the win. They should be. They won on the road. It's hard to do in the NFL. But these past two matchups, these past 2 weeks were not the same. This is a much bigger measuring stick for the Raiders than the last week's victory was. Robert says, Geno Smith will fold if he can't find Bowers. We'll see. We shall see. Jake, I think the top story or the lead here also, no love lost between these coaches.
Oh,
you know that once that whistle blows at the end of the game, everything will be looking at these two coaches. And it's kind of funny how lippy they are with each other, like in a pregame press conference and all that stuff, or they never send me Christmas cards or birthday cards. Or
I remember Jim. I don't remember him fondly.
And you mentioned it. They are similar with what they want to establish, right? They want to be big. They want to be physical. They want to control the tempo. They want to kind of bully the ball. They want to kind of squeeze an offense into submission. But in my opinion, Jim Harbaugh has far more weapons than what Pete Carroll does. And in my opinion, this Chargers team is far better. They are better. Will they show it? I don't know. So we'll get into both sides. Offense versus defense for the Chargers. We'll flip it. The Raiders will go to keys to the game. We'll go to matchups and predictions. People in the comments, though, were actually given a couple good points here. One, can Greg Roman do it again? Was week one an admiration? Everyone deservingly so, gave him his flowers, right? Like, he called a masterful game. Can he do it a second game? I am curious, though, like, if they are going to establish the run, right? That's what they're going to try to lean more towards. A part of me, and I know you should and could, and it's probably correct, but when you see what happened last week, when Justin Herbert has weapons that can get open quickly, like, a part of you almost kind of wonders why. Like, why run more when it is so beautiful what you just witnessed? I can answer that question, but this Raiders secondary is not good, man. Like, we can get to all the statistics, we can get to all the PFF scores, all that kind of stuff, but like, they are relying on a lot of dudes that haven't played NFL football starting caliber for much. Certainly haven't done it good. So I don't know, man. Like, I might be way bullish on this game, and I might be smoking the hopium because of what happened in Brazil. But if we saw what we saw with this charge against that Chiefs defense, like, this should be open season, in my opinion. The only neutralizer, the only one I'm afraid of, literally, is Maxx Crosby. Now, it's a big one.
It's very big.
But for some damn reason, I trust this team to scheme against that. I really do. Jake, do you want to start with Chargers offense or the Raiders offense?
I'm liking this trend of us starting the opposing team's offense first because, again, we know what the low-hanging fruit is with the Chargers and Justin Herbert as it relates to their offensive plan. So, yeah, let's step across enemy lines here, Dan, and let's talk about it.
Talk about it. Brock Bowers is playing. I mean, he's not officially, but I'd be shocked if he's not. What's the scoop here? Raiders offense, Chargers defense. What did you see in that game against the Patriots from their offense?
A lot of Brock Bowers. And I still think, even from the standpoint of, maybe the Raiders didn't get as much success that they wanted in the run game, they still got it. Ashton, Jeanty is going to be something to have to be dealt with as the season rolls along.
I like him.
You're going to have to account for him, and I'm sure that Pete Carroll's going to want to unleash him, no pun intended, all over the Los Angeles Chargers. But again, Dan, I think it's more of the complementary pieces, because when you look at just a year ago what this team was like, obviously different quarterback, different cachet of weapons. You didn't have the running game the way that this Raiders team had before. But Brock Bowers still ended up being the guy that you had to lock in on. That was surprising people. But now you start looking at this and you're like, okay, it's not just Brock Bowers out there. And yes, this is a Raiders team that doesn't have Devontae Adams, but we're talking about Jacoby Myers, Jack Besh, who we really haven't talked about much, one of Dan's favorites throughout the draft process, DeAndre Thornton.
Dante Thornton. God.
Or Dante Thornton, excuse me.
Trey Tucker, who
which
seemingly
literally reached back a couple years ago and really pissed Dan off about that. So Geno, from the standpoint of quarterbacks, and the Chargers have seen him, a couple years ago when they were in Seattle, or when he was quarterback of the Seahawks at that point in time. He's still a serviceable quarterback. He is still a serviceable quarterback that has shown that he can make some good decisions and, run an offense competently. Now, can you do that against a better led defense with as much success? Probably not as much success, but the Chargers are still going to have to account for this and still be disciplined. And much like we talked about leading into that Kansas City game, just play mistake-free football, to Dan's point that he was making just a couple minutes ago. Don't give up the easy touchdown. Don't let one of these coverage breaks that you had. Now, fortunately, you don't have to play Patrick Mahomes in this game, so he's not going to be able to, Geno Smith is not going to be able to extend plays in the same way that Patrick Mahomes did a week ago and possibly allow some of those big coverage breaks that the Chargers saw last week against the Chiefs. But still, in terms of covering the field, Dan, this is where it's going to be a little dicey. So Deion Henley, I think, is going to have a big responsibility in this game. Dan, we know that there's a certain 52 that usually starts off In the past few years that Khalil Mack has been with the Chargers, and whenever the Raiders game has come up,
he took that personal.
He not only did he take it personal, but it's always the first game that the Chargers play the Raiders where Khalil Mack really shows up. They're able to contain him a little bit more in the second game of the season, but that first game, when you look back at the years past, Khalil Mack shows up for the first Raiders game of the season in the stat sheet the most. And you know he's coming to play. And honestly, in general, in terms of the pass rush, the Chargers need to be a little bit better at that than they were against the Chiefs. And I say that collectively from the standpoint of Khalil Mack, from Thule. Now, Jesse Minter tried to get a little bit creative last week when he put Bud Dupree at edge and he kicked in Khalil Mack inside to take advantage of Josh Simmons and Kingsley Suamataia. And to some degree, that worked when it came to the penalties. But in terms of quarterback pressures, now, yeah, it ain't Patrick Mahomes running around back there, but still, you got to do better in terms of generating pressure and getting to the quarterback this time around. You should be able to do that.
The other side, and honestly, like if you look at the offensive line for this Raiders team, like Colton Miller's a stud, clearly, right? But like after that, like it's not that great. It's not like JPJ is not playing. You got DJ Glaze, who had a 49.8 pass blocking grade last week. You got Jordan Meredith, 43.5 on 63 snaps. Dylan Parham, 43.2 on 63. Ashton Jeanty's pass blocking was absolutely horrific. I think they gave up 4 sacks. Geno Smith isn't that mobile. Like, we were wondering, was last week's pass rush by design to be more disciplined when you're going up against someone like Patrick Mahomes? Well, this will be the week to see. This will be the week to see what is Thule this year. Could we see one of those Marlowe Wax, Caleb Murphy types, depending on what happens with Denzel Perryman, kind of splash through, right? Like, this is the Khalil Mack type where there should be some pass rush, Derwin off the edge. Like, you should be able to start cooking up Geno Smith. And this offensive line isn't great. And Ashton Jeanty is amazing, but it's really hard to run, evident by this Chargers team last year, when you can't block for it. And if you don't get to him, like, they've got dudes with speed who can burn, man. Like, I'm telling you, do not let Trey Tucker beat you with a deep shot. Like, I will claw my eyes out if that happens.
If Thornton gets a touchdown, Dan might punch his television.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So, like, I respect the Raiders offense. I do. I think the Raiders offense has a lot more weapons and is underrated. And they have weapons that they wish they had in years past. But the most important thing for an offense to succeed is blocking, run or pass. And they just don't have that. Can the Chargers exploit that? I hope so. We shall see. Jake, we do have 2 voicemails here from the Chargers Unleashed hotline. For folks who have not called in, you could be a part of the show on the hotline as well. 323-902-7586. Let's listen to our first voicemail and see what they have to say as we continue.
Dan, Jake, this is...
Who is it? Everyone, who is it? We know. My baby himself. What's up, Athir?
Here. I want to start with this. Dan, just stop talking.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
Okay, just stop talking, brother. I know that. You don't believe in this team. You don't believe in this QB. You don't believe in this coach. You picking the Chiefs to win on Friday night? Really? And you're a Chargers fan? Okay. Now, Monday, my bold prediction is this. Omarion Hampton, 123-yard rushing and 2 touchdowns. Chargers beat that ass. 31-17. Let's go, baby. 2-0, headed back home.
Beat that ass. Beat that ass. Oh, man. I will say this about the Amari and Hampton aspect, Dan, because I definitely have, spoiler alert towards the end of the show, I definitely have him as a X factor, if you will, for the offense. When you look at what the Patriots were unable to do, and I don't think it was as much of their lack of success, but because they found themselves in a hole that they ended up passing even uncharacteristically as many throws as they threw last week. But Travion Henderson got 5 touches for 27 yards. I think they ran the ball a collective 13 times with everybody that they had. Try that one again with Jim Harbaugh. Try that one again with Omari and Hampton and another week now of Najee Harris. Try that one again, and I think you're going to find better success there.
Can I talk?
Yes, you can.
Ooh, that's tough. Dang, shots fired. Apparently, you have
right
to
out the
predict the Chargers go 17-0, or else you are not a fan of this team. Apparently. Who knew? Lad season 15. Herbert's going nuclear tomorrow night. I like that score. A lot of people like Athir's
31-17.
Yeah. DZ says, I actually like that score. I'm not sure. It's your boy, Athir. Tay Jackson's asking if we could put the number to the comments for the Chargers hotline in the description or comments. Sure. Again, 323. It's literally scrolling across
right
the screen.
there as we're talking.
323-902-7586. I don't know, man.
Any comments? Are you just being obliterated by Athir a second ago?
No, I'm just gonna let that thing simmer. That's fine. I am not a Chargers fan because I thought the Chargers would lose to the team that they have lost to.
Fake ass, Dan. Fake ass.
But then Justin Herbert showed his whole ads. Let's see. Benji, hell yes, let's go. I think they play out the way they prepared and executed against the Chiefs, which I called the day the schedule was released, tells me this team is different. I hope.
Even Spagnuolo said in his press conference earlier this week that he was asked a question on, why did the defense seem out of sorts against the Chargers? And he said, we thought that they were going to come out and establish the run, and they flipped the script right from the beginning. Greg Roman 2.0. If you saw Orlovsky's breakdown of how he was scheming up his receivers to get open, namely Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and Quentin Johnston, some good shit. Keep it going.
Anything else on their Raiders offense, Chargers defense?
No, Dan, thank you for actually cleaning it up because you brought up the offensive line with JPJ being out for this game and then most likely having to replace him with Alex Kappa. Their offensive line is still suspect. It's not a strong suit of their team, and maybe they just lost one of their best in JPJ due to another unfortunate concussion for him. So again, this is not the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. And especially in the interior, you should be able to create a little bit more pressure. But as I had mentioned before, I would like to see a little bit more success from Thule and, of course, Khalil Mack this week.
Flipping it over. Chargers offense versus Raiders defense. And clearly fitting, you've got Maxx Crosby and Justin Herbert dead on center in this graphic for good reason. Keep Justin upright. Keep Maxx Crosby away, and you should be good. This is far and away the most important matchup is Maxx Crosby versus Trey Pipkins and company. And I say and company because I do not think, and I hope to God I'm right, that they let Trey Pipkins on an island against Maxx Crosby much in this game. Like, please send help.
Oh, yeah. They're going to send help.
Please send help. Real quick. Daryl asked Jake, morning, guys. On my way to service, tuning in, and would love to know your thoughts on KLS. Is a breakout game coming soon? So I guess I'll let you answer this, Jake, but what do we define as a breakout game?
I don't know, having KLS be the number one receiver, maybe as in terms of a breakout game. Maybe so. Yeah, it's going to take some time for that, especially just the way that you saw the success already of Keenan Ladd and Quentin last week. They mixed in some Trey Harris late in that fourth quarter with him getting a first down conversion in that game. But look, I think that Greg Roman is competent enough to know his weapons and know where they find success and ultimately how to exploit opposing defenses. Now, it may not happen in this game, but I do feel, and we've heard Sanjay Lal talk about this, it's for the rookies at that point, even though Trey Harris and KLS had a phenomenal preseason, it's always another step of progression when you get to these regular season games. So I still think that Justin Herbert is going to lean on his top three guys, and eventually throughout this season, whether it's, hey, could it happen today? Sure. Or sorry, it could happen tomorrow? Sure. Could it happen 3 weeks from now? Absolutely. But I think eventually you're going to see a little bit more of KLS and Trey Harris being targeted by Justin Herbert in this offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to manage our expectations here a bit. Like, I think it's going to be pretty slim. Like, the chances of KLS getting more than like 3 targets a game right now, like, that's what I call a breakout game. Like, give him, to me, it's like his stat line hopes should be like, I don't know, 2 receptions, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Like, that's like the breakout game, in my opinion. Like, would that be the leading receiver on this team? I don't know, but they've got too many dudes for him to be the number one receiver. Point blank. Like, that's it. But could this be the game where he gets those 2 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown? Absolutely. Absolutely. You need one throw that goes to his way for an explosive, and you got it. Like, really. Jake, the Chargers offense versus this Raiders defense, it's I don't want to use the word refreshing because we use that too often, but damn,
it's refreshing.
It wasn't refreshing to see this Chargers team go up against the Chiefs and actually have a complement of weapons that Justin Herbert can rely on. That is all that we have been asking. And they have it in spades right now. And I don't think this is a hyperbole. I think this is the most weapons Justin Herbert has ever had in his NFL career. And I don't think it's close. Go back to the Mike Williams, Keenan Allen days. Doesn't matter. Hunter Henry, rookie year. No. By far, I'll say, this is the most weaponry he has ever had at his disposal. Pair that with the fact that he is now finally healthy and is getting, pun intended, unleashed a bit. Like, you see him with that 3rd and 14 run where he's like literally licking his chops as he's running on the sidelines. Like, this is what all Chargers fans and folks who have been high on Justin Herbert have been looking for. And he did that against a Chiefs defense who just lost the Super Bowl. Like, they were hungry. Imagine Justin Herbert going nuclear, like we saw in the comments earlier. 2nd primetime game in a row against the Raiders. Imagine what the narrative turns into. How quickly things can change from last year to this year. And rightly so, right? Like, rightly so. This guy is an absolute machine. And you see who he's going up against. Now, again, like, their defensive front, their front 4, if you will, is good. I'll give him that. It's good. You've got Malcolm Kuntz. You've got Maxx Crosby. You've got Tyree Wilson. Like they've got some dudes, right? Like, I still like Devin White.
Last week, Maxx Crosby, Thomas Booker, and Adam Butler combined for 12 quarterback hurries last week. May not translate to sacks. I think they only ended up having, 2 or 3 sacks in the game, but still, it doesn't matter. They're able to create pressure on the quarterback. And we remember what it was like. You go back to week 1 last year when the Chargers had to play the Raiders. The defensive line was teeing off on the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Maxx Crosby had himself a first half in that game. And then thankfully for the Chargers, they made their adjustments and they were able to put together a number of scoring drives, which ultimately led to their win last year. But you better believe that they're coming for this. It's their home opener. I know it's week 2, but first place is technically on the line in the division right now. We know how important these division games are. Like we all know the hate and the motivation and everything like that is in the interwoven, pieces of this rivalry. It's there. And I guarantee you that they're coming to play.
Of course. Now, the thing is, though, their secondary is not good. I liked Kai Kelly. I liked him. But is he CB 1 or 2 on my team, and am I excited about it? I don't know about that. Eric Stokes hasn't played great. I would argue they probably have, and again, I think this is fact. This isn't throwing shots, but there's probably 25 teams in the NFL that have better secondaries than they do, that would not switch with them. It's not good, man. Jeremy Chinn's good. I like him. But few and far between are guys that are going to be blockbusters on this team. So
Dan, you talk about that Patriots game kind of in a microcosm when you really look at it outside of what the score says. This is who Jermaine Pratt, Kai Kelly, Eric Stokes, whoever had to go up against last week. Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry, Kayshon Boutte, Kyle Williams, Mac Hollins, Mario Douglas.
And go back and look at the box score of those dudes.
I think that the Chargers wide receivers can find a little bit more success than that.
Boutte went off in that game. He was not Boutte at all. I was like, dude, how are these guys? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But again, other side. Justin Herbert finally has a complement of weapons and has depth at those different archetypes, right? You look at, to me, if Quentin, and what I liked about this last game, Jake, was they got him easy touches right off the bat to get that confidence level up, which I don't even know if they need that, but high likelihood of being caught. This isn't deep shots downfield, making him do the contested thing. This is drag routes, crossing routes underneath, where you're able to just get in space.
I get what you're saying, though, with those comments.
Start off with those to get his confidence up and to get that production started. Because once his production starts, the other guys just go off. Because you can't just dismiss Quentin anymore. You go back, and I put one at least on Twitter, but you go and watch some of those all 22 with Quentin screaming down the sidelines or screaming across the field. He has, say what you will about him, he has elite athletic traits. The guy is crazy fast, crazy explosive. And defenses have to tailor to that. And when you see that happen, guys are wide open underneath. Now, Ladd and Keenan are all kind of always wide open regardless. But you see the void that Quentin Johnston creates behind him. Incredible. So, could this be a KLS breakout game? Sure. Do we see, you mentioned OG with C4, do we see Oronde Gadsden this game?
That was going to be one of my next questions to you.
I don't know. I hope. But to me, this is about the Chargers playing their game plan. If they can do what they want to do, they will win. Even if the Raiders do what they want to do and the Chargers do what they want to do, it'll still win. To me, this is, and I was going to ask you this, Jake, because I think probably the key storyline on this, and it kind of goes with the protecting Justin Herbert, is the success that we saw last week with the offensive line and Justin Herbert, pass protection wise. Was that And there's a little bit of chicken and the egg in this question, but was that because dudes were getting open quicker and Justin Herbert's weapons were more available, if you will, or reliable? Or like, was there something different that we saw in this offensive line or just pass protection in general that can translate to week 2? Like, what was the difference in your opinion?
I think it's a little bit of both. Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. How many third down conversions did Keenan Allen have last week?
Was it 6, I think?
I don't think you can understate how great of a safety blanket that is for one quarterback to have. And you technically had it in Ladd, but just remember, it's like last year was his rookie year. There were still a number of things that while Ladd was doing fantastic during his rookie season, there were still things that he was learning. So now you're telling me you've got two of the best route runners in the league playing right next to one another. They both know how to get open, how our opposing defense is going to scheme for them. And then, of course, as you mentioned, Dan, if you're using Quentin Johnson in the correct way, not using him as your deep down the field X receiver, because that's not what Quentin Johnson's game is.
At least not initially, for sure.
You're gonna spread a lot of people out, and you're gonna find a lot of open grass for the wide receivers. So I think it was half that, but I'll also give credit to where credit was due. That when you have the Chargers offensive line that we were all asking questions about leading up to week 1, first time seeing Mekhi Becton, who we found out the day of was battling an illness and he was in and out during that game. What was it going to be like with Joe Alt, Trey Pipkins, Zion Johnson, and Bradley Bozeman being next to one another again? And Dan, I got to say, I was very surprised going up against a Steve Spagnuolo-led defense who loves to bring pressure, is able to create penetration when they want just from their front four. And I thought the offensive line did a great job. I thought they did a great job. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think Herbert got the protection that he needed when he needed it. I thought, more importantly, that Justin Herbert made the right decisions in terms of when to pull the ball down and utilize his legs to convert some of those first downs and move the sticks. And then finally, Dan, to the additional weapons that he finally had out there and how they were scheming it for them to get open, it made it easy.
So you touched on kind of the door number 3 that I was wondering if you were going to get to. And I don't know if people are going to give me flack for this, but I'm as big a Justin Herbert supporter and fan as there is. But I will admit, when I see that there are times where Justin has the ability where nevertheless, right, insert excuse, he has an opportunity to take over, right, to impose his will, to yearn for that win, to like implore his team to victory. And we've seen, whether it's pass protection gets blown up or he's not healthy or he doesn't have enough weapons or, insert all the reasons, which again, valid, but simply can't get it done. I think what you're seeing with Justin, and again, some of this is because he's healthy, right? He's able to extend. I think what you might start to see, and I'm curious, because if we see it in this game, then I'm going to be way bullish on Justin. But there was some stuff that you saw last week where, like, he was ahead of what was coming, right? He knew, all right, this time last year, they absolutely hosed me. So I'm going to sprint backwards real quick to give myself an extra 10 to 15 yards. Yeah, I have to throw it further, but I got a cannon of an arm. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to let them sack me on 3rd and long. It's not going to happen. And so his ability to take matters into his own hands, that I think is what is unlocked last week. That is the X factor for me, is will Justin take over? Because as much as we don't want him to have to, he needs to at times. Like, that's why you're paying this dude $1 billion. He is the best player. He is the heartbeat of this entire roster. Does he need to go Superman every single play? Of course not. But there are going to be times where he needs to earn that $50 million plus. And you saw him do that last week. Like, you saw him just go bananas at the most crucial times. It's not just, on a random second down throw in the first quarter, which is incredible, which he does all the time. It's not it's meaningful throws in meaningful moments. Like, great players make great plays in big moments, and that's what he was doing. And so, we'll get into X factors here. Clear, far and away, Herbert is number one. Like, we all recognize that.
What a difference a year makes, Dan. Because remember going into week 3 last year, everybody was asking, well, why such the slow start for Justin Herbert? And that's because it was the run game that was really stealing the show. It was J.K. Dobbins, and he had a phenomenal first 2 weeks against the Raiders and the Carolina Panthers. And everybody's like, what? Why the slow start for Justin Herbert? These stats just seem very pedestrian for him. I don't think that there's any slow start for Justin Herbert now. And again, that's coupled with a couple things, because Justin Herbert obviously wasn't healthy going into last year. That foot issue was obviously something that was lingering with him for a good portion of the season before he was able to utilize his legs properly. But there's no bad wheel in there anymore.
No. I heard I think it was Chargers Weekly, they had an interview with Joe Ortiz, and I think I have this right. But Joe Ortiz said that this is the best wide receiving room he's ever seen on his teams, Baltimore plus LA. Now, I know that's not saying much, because Baltimore's always had an issue with having wide receiver rooms, but a far cry from when people were saying this is the worst receiver room in the NFL. Fast forward with the weapons he has now, the best. Not in the NFL, but what Joe Ortiz has seen. Now, I don't know if that just says a lot about the Ravens in the past, but they've got dudes now.
Dan, I'll repeat my opinion on this receiving core, and whether this echoes Joe Ortiz's opinion on it is another thing. But my opinion is this is the most versatile wide receiver group that Justin Herbert has ever had.
Totally.
Now, mind you, I'm not talking talented. I'm not talking anything like that. I'm talking about versatile, where you have a number of guys that can play multiple positions. Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey are interchangeable at what positions that you can put them at. Quentin Johnston and Trey Harris are interchangeable in terms of the positions that they can put them at. You can utilize Trey Harris and KLS respectfully as downfield X contesting catch type guys.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't used to have that with this Chargers wide receiver core. It was Keenan Allen who owned the slot. It was Mike Williams, who was your downfield threat. It was Josh Palmer, who was kind of mixed in, was better utilized as an X possession receiver. And that was about it. It was very vanilla. And now you have a versatile group like this with an offensive coordinator in Greg Roman, who has always traditionally been run first, essentially just remaking himself with this offense. It's something to note, Dan.
Yeah, and again, it sucks that they don't have Rashawn Slater, right? And I think if they had Rashawn Slater, they would have had, in my opinion, 3 borderline elite linemen on this team. But right now, it's 2. And so, to me, it's you got Joe Alt, Mekhi Becton. Those are the 2 that you're I don't got to worry about them. They're fine. And then the rest is kind of by committee, right? Bring in the Scott Matlocks, bring in the Will Dissleys, bring in Omar Hampton for pass protection. Give assistance to the rest of them, right? Add numbers here. If you can do that, you're golden. I'm good. And this is one thing that was kind of interesting, and you saw this last week. If you give Justin 2 weapons, right? 2 effective weapons, whether it's Keenan and Ladd, whatever it is, add Conklin in there somewhere. 2-3 guys go out there to run routes. The rest are protecting Justin. I like my chances. You don't need to go 5 wide. You can. You don't need to. If you can protect him and have those guys who are always open in Ladd and Keenan, you'll win. You'll win. I am excited to see Omar and Hampton, though, because folks were weirdly kind of down on him. I feel like, and maybe it was just me, but people were kind of down on him last week. And I'm like, I don't know what you're looking at. Like, I know it's probably the one play where he didn't go to bounds that kind of like soured a lot of people, but you go back and look at some of those runs where he is flying through the hole and he's close to busting those things out. Chargers haven't seen a running back like this on their team in a long time. And you get him plus Najee, like a 1-2 punch. It would be fun to see them go off against this Raiders team. Because like the running game hasn't been what's beaten this Raiders team in the past. Imagine if it did. Like imagine if it did. Imagine if we see like a $160 from those two tutties.
Yeah. Dan, I'm going to add one more into this. And I'm going to tip my cap to who might be active Monday. I think the Chargers are going to go with the same tight end group that they went against Kansas City Chiefs. And I say that just from the standpoint of you got to be in there for better protection against Maxx Crosby. You just have to have those bodies in there. But I'm going to say X factor for, in addition to Amari and Hampton, Tyler Conklin. You look at what Hunter Henry did last week. He was targeted 9 times. He caught 4 passes for 66 yards. They've got Jamal Adams, who did a position switch that I completely forgot about, going from safety to linebacker, and had a really good game. But I think that the middle of their field is something that you could definitely exploit. So, and I really actually enjoyed how they got Tyler Conklin involved in that game last week. Thankfully for the heads up play from McConkey after that, scary fumble that Conklin had for that minute for McConkey to bat it out of bounds. And then you bring in Tyler Conklin on the sneak to get the 4th down conversion.
Right.
I want to see more of that. I actually liked what I saw from Tyler Conklin in that game. So I'm going to go with the tight ends here, Dan. So yeah, I'm going to focus around Tyler Conklin and say that he's going to have a sneaky good game for this one.
Super chat by Envy Talent. Mac or Thule go off. Thank you so much, Envy. Mac or Thule go off. I can't even bet on them. Just my Vegas senses are going off. I would bet that one of them is going to get something if I was a betting man.
I would lean towards number 52. Think about this. This may be the second to last game that he gets to go up against the Raiders. If you don't think that Khalil Mack is going to be turned up for this one, change your way of thinking.
Yeah. Victor says, what's up, guys? The beginning of something great. I hope so. Brad, bong hits for everyone. Spicoli. F the Raiders. Chargers are going to show the league how bad the Raiders really are. I hope you're right. Benji says, yeah, they're coming, but they don't have the firepower or quarterback that we do. We got this. I think he means the Chargers. There's the bong hits for everyone that I was looking for. Papa says, wonder if they bounce alt to right for this game. Anyone competent enough for left tackle?
Oh, no. You don't move Joe Alt after the game. You don't move Joe Alt after that type of a game that he had against Kansas City.
No.
The one thing that you do essentially by keeping Joe Alt there is that it pretty much guarantees that Trey Pipkins is going to stay to the right. He ain't going to Joe Alt's side, that's for sure. But that's where, to Dan's point, you need to be a little bit more responsible. Give Trey Harris some help when he needs it. Get somebody else in there. Excuse me. Trey Pipkins, get someone in there to help chip Maxx Crosby every opportunity that they can.
Another voicemail, Jake. Chargers Unleashed hotline. We got 2 today. Let's get to this one real fast. 323-902-7. I almost got it. 586. There we go. 7586. I was close. I'm close. Again, 323-902-7586.
Dan, Jake, how's it going, guys?
I'm good. Jake, how are you?
I'm fine. You know, it's weird that lead-in almost sounded identically to his theory. Because the pauses were like almost the same.
Except
it's not the volume level is toned way down in the voice inflection. And Dan, he didn't tell you to stop talking.
Well, so, we haven't got that far yet.
Yes, that's true. Let's see what happens.
It is me, Matthew. It is Tuesday morning. I am this week 2 now is Raiders week. FTR, fuck the Raiders. But yeah, man, I didn't get
in case you didn't know what that spelled. Here you go.
I didn't call you guys from last week's game, whatever, but fucking amazing game. I loved it. Just a quick rant. Pat Mahomes, he's a little fucking bitch, bro. Like, you know, he made some good plays and stuff, but that hit to Dante Jackson, you know, like trying to, like, you know, bro, that dude wasn't trying to hit you, but you going out of bounds and you want to make a little fucking push. Bro, fuck you, you little bitch ass motherfucker. But whatever, that's what he does, man. Anyways, this week, is Raiders week, and I'm excited. You know, I live in Vegas, so you know what that means. I'm going to the Raiders game, baby. So hopefully we win this week, but I'm curious how this game is going to be. It's probably going to be a slugfest, you know, Jim Harbaugh versus Pete Carroll. You know, it's going to be a rivalry. It's going to be awesome. So hopefully we get this win Monday night, and we'll see what happens, man. But love you guys. Let me know what you guys' thoughts, and let us see what happens, man. Bolts up, and fuck the Raiders.
Okay, off the bat, let's keep it like even in the PG-13. Let's keep it PG. Okay, let's keep it nice here. We don't have to be too crazy vulgar. Please. They're kids. But
Matthew, let me just say real quick, because I know where Dan's about to go. I had apologized last week because I dropped too many F-bombs in the victory against the Chiefs game. Let this be a lesson that when those type of wins happen, you need to make the time to call the Chargers Unleashed hotline, because there will be moments of levity that we will give in this show where we really don't give a shit as far as what is said, because the emotions are so high. So, first of all, I love the message. I'm so hyped that you're hyped. And let's go to week 2.
What was the message, Jake?
Well, are you trying to turn me and turn the whole PG-13? I mean, I'll say it. I'll say it if you want me to say it. Fuck the Raiders. There it is.
Man, that just came out of nowhere. Like, I just wanted to call, FTR. And also, by the way, the Chiefs, Mahomes.
Like, the emotions for Matthew never came down.
No.
From Friday to Tuesday and him calling in, the emotions stayed the same. And I can only imagine what they are, considering the fact that he lives in Vegas and he's going to the Raiders game.
Brad Spicoli says Gaston's getting his first touchdown Monday. So let's get to kind of predictions. Let's get to kind of the key players, all that kind of stuff. Like, real quick. Robert says, we could have a great wide receiver group last season, but Hortitz screwed it up. He could have kept Allen and paid him last year. I don't know how.
Time out. You got to remember the full picture here.
Yes, okay.
Remember that when Joe Ortiz traded Keenan Allen to the Chicago Bears sent back what? They sent back a 4th-round pick for Keenan Allen. The Chargers then utilized that same 4th pick to trade up with the New England Patriots 4 spots to go get Lad McConkey. And now 1 year later, you essentially get Keenan Allen back for pennies on the dime.
And then you see Jalen Polk, who they got. Oh my gosh.
Oh, they also got Tarheeb Still out of that trade as well. So a 3-player swing for going away from Keenan Allen for just 1 year. I'll take that.
I think Joe Ortiz would do that 100 out of 100 times. I don't think that's even a question. Peaky Bolt says, not that one. Sorry. Peaky Bolts had another topic here. They play cover 3. That is, if our run game is okay, these 3 will play close to the box, and then Justin will fry them. But if the run game is shit, it will be a long day. Agreed. Thomas Costello, hey, gents, great breakdown. Am I seeing this? Thomas Costello. I don't know if I'm reading this correct, but I see a $200 super chat. Jake, do you know how to do a handstand? Do you know how to do a backflip? Do you know how to sing a cappella? We need to do something for this.
No, I'm not as athletically inclined as Tyler is in doing handstands on his live show. So
okay.
I don't have the balance to do that, unfortunately.
Sing for us. Give me something, Thomas.
Dan, why are you trying to get talents out of me that I don't possess?
You do. I've seen you.
I do not sing. I do not do handstands.
You dance.
We're not having that on this show.
Thomas
Costello. You talk about PG-13. That's one thing, but there are some things that the human eye never needs to see.
Thomas Costello. Seriously. Definitely the most we've gotten as a gift. Appreciate you so much, Thomas. You are the best. Chargers fans, honestly, are incredible. This is... Damn, I'm speechless. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Dark Chow Chow. This transition with a $2 donation extends Zion. Would he be center or guard in 2026? I think it's way early to talk about this.
Way too early. Yeah, way too early. There's a lot more proving that Zion Johnson has to do. Now, good first step. But there is a reason that initially the Chargers didn't pick up his fifth-year option. And I think when you look at the big picture and maybe the Chargers playing the long game of improving this offensive line in certain areas, they've done it at the tackle position. They did it at one guard position in the offseason. But I think that Zion Johnson's spot as of right now, that there's still nothing set in stone for him. He has to earn that.
He does. Mighty says, Chris, walk-in voice. It is. Brad.
Oh, is that what he's asking for?
Yep, let's hear it.
Thanking Thomas Costello for the $200 super chat. Thomas, I can't believe that you had $200 just laying around and you chose to throw it to Chargers Unleashed. That itself, my friend, is insane.
Peaky Bolts, $200, and this ain't OnlyFans. Respect, Thomas. You don't want this to be OnlyFans. Let me tell you.
No,
we are old.
No, like I told Dan, there's certain things that people should never ever see.
Jake's sleeves is one of them.
Jesus, couldn't even get through an entire podcast.
You just like lay that up for me. I had to.
Damn.
I had to. Robert says DJ gets a sack and fumble recovery. Jake, let's get to some of these bold predictions. Robert says gets a sack and fumble recovery for DJ. Folks in the chat, let's hear your offensive or defensive bold predictions. We'll kind of sprinkle these in as we go, and then we'll get to the game predictions. Got about 10 minutes left. Do you have any questions or anything else, guys? Put them in. Thomas Costello, by the way, Jake. Spreading the wealth. 100% disability from the VA. Love you guys. Thomas, seriously, you are the best. I'm still speechless. I give that. Jake, these games $200. Like, what? I didn't even have to show anything. No one had to see my toes. It was great. No one wants to see my toes.
No, nobody does, Dan.
Okay.
Let's get to bold predictions.
Bold predictions. Bold predictions from Robert says Darth Dan is coming out today. I don't think he is. All right, Jake, bold predictions. So we got DJ with a fumble recovery and a sack. Let's hear it. What is your bold prediction or predictions?
I'm going to stay away from Khalil Mack because Khalil Mack is the low-hanging fruit. It's pretty much the easy stat that anybody can come into this and predict because most of the time it's going to end up being right. Where do I want to go with it? You know what? I'm going to flip on the other side of the line, Dan. I'm going to say Thule nabs 2 sacks in this game.
I like that. It's funny. We were talking about Thule and Mack earlier, and I was thinking, like, yeah, it would be awesome if Mack gets his. But for like the betterment of the trajectory of the career for Thule and for this team, like if you see Thule go off, like that will feed families. That will feed families. Thule getting his, I like that one. Jay, you got a $2 thing from Mr. Chow Chow. This is right up your alley. I like the Bama guard, Jaden Roberts, and the Auburn center. I have no idea who these guys are, Jake, so I'm relying on you.
Yeah, Jaden Roberts, who ended up on Bruce Feldman's freak list. Definitely someone that you should be paying attention to throughout the duration of this season. I'm still in favor of Jake Slaughter, who has had some really good starts to just pick up after the 2024 season for him. I know what you're talking about in terms of Connor Liu, who had a great start to the college football season. I definitely think that he's going to be in the mix when all is said and done. But when you start looking at this center class in general, if we're going to isolate it there's a number of different guys that you have that are coming out that could be great options for the Chargers by the time that we get to draft season. So if it's not Drake Slaughter, if they're not going to target a center in the first round, you have other guys, as mentioned, as Connor Liu. See if Parker Brailsford improves a little bit more. How about Logan Jones of Iowa, who was one that was looked at a lot last year to potentially coming up.
Are you making these names up? I mean, I would believe you, but
Dan, have you not heard of Bartholomew Mendoza over there at Central? Yeah, that's because it was made up.
Good.
Yeah, but the other four, those were not made up. Those were actual players.
Okay, good.
So, but yeah, they could be options. It'll be interesting. I definitely think that the Chargers will go after or will target the trenches, whether it be offensive or defensive, with their first round pick next year. That's for sure.
I would love to see. And the first thought that I had when we were talking about this, like big man interception, like big man running with football. We saw that diabolical play in the preseason where you saw a big man rumbling, stumbling, almost get his TD. I don't know who it would be. I don't know if it would be a Jamari or if it'd be like an Aboigbe or like a Naquan Jones maybe.
So what, that's your bold prediction that you're looking for a big man interception here?
Yeah.
Interesting choice of all things.
I know. I don't know why, but I got a feeling about this one.
Big man interception. Well, I haven't been. If Tyler Tart's been using his hand in so many ways, he might as well be using him to catch the ball.
Yep. A couple of these others that we see here. Bolt of the team gets 4 sacks. I don't know how bold that is, but I like the prediction. Still and Jackson gets picks is how it's going to go down. Brad Spicoli. Winston gets benched for throwing interceptions. Is that bold? It's also not this game, so I don't care. Robert says, no, Dan, you're being mean to Jank. So yes, Darth is our... Oh, that's what Darth Dan is. This whole time, I thought it was just me being pessimistic, but Darth Dan apparently is just when I'm a mean person to Jake.
Am I like that clueless? When the hell were you mean to me?
I don't know.
somebody help me out. Somebody help me out, or to explain better. When did he exactly insult me? First of all, I have no problem with anybody coming to my defense, of course, but when the hell did Darth Dan come out?
I think he's referring to me talking about
nicest
your sleeves.
Human being.
Maybe
the sleeves. Okay. Well, in that case, Dan, piss off.
Okay.
You suck.
Okay.
Fuck off.
And you're wearing the Manscaped shirt. Dang,
I did that specifically for Bob from Boston, who's trying to criticize what I wear on this show.
Your lawnmower is effective.
So most likely, I will be hearing from Bob from Boston next week.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's see some of the other ones. Chargers stop the run with light boxes. Geno has 2 turnovers, either a pick and a sack fumble, or 2 picks. Peaky Bolt says Roman will dial up a deep bomb. First offensive snap. KLS going T-Billy.
T-Billy.
Honestly, that would be sick. I would be all about giving him his flowers if we see him get that first explosive right off the gate. Yes, please.
I think you have a better shot of that happening against this secondary than you did against the Chiefs.
Oh, for sure. Hanandari, Omar gets over 60 yards, Herbert over 300, 3 sacks, and 1 interception. Mr. Dark Chow Chow. Zion is too talented to let go. Would bother me if he excelled with another team. Well, yes. Again, if we extrapolate out and Zion plays great for all 17 games, we could have that conversation. But right now, again, this is not a shot at Zion. But right now, I don't know how you can honestly say Zion is too talented to let go. Does he have the potential? Sure. Does he have the traits? Sure. Is he smart? Absolutely. But I don't think you can honestly say Zion Johnson is too talented to let go right now.
If the organization had that much confidence in him, especially based off of what you saw last year, the 5th-year option would have been picked up for Zion. I guarantee it. But he's now in a prove it year. Got to do it.
I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm just saying he is not too talented to let go. Like, that's not him. I'm sorry. Brad says, wait, who is the Raiders quarterback? I literally don't know. I think Brad thought the quarterback was Jameis Winston.
I always know when Brad Spicoli is in the chat because he always will drop at any point in time during the chat that I'm baked.
Yeah, I was just
But Brad, good morning.
He's like, good morning. Where are we? Oh man, this is great. Jake. Okay, well, Robert had to tell him it was Geno Smith. Good job, Robert. He's like, wait, the Chargers are playing? Today was Monday. Oh man. All right, Jake, final score. What do you got?
Dan, I'm still going to keep this in the realm of it being a divisional game. It's still going to be closely fought. I'm not going to be as bold or brash as Athir was with his game prediction, but I'll say the Chargers still win this one by at least one score. So I've got it 24-17 Chargers.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared. I'm very scared about this one.
Are you more scared? Because I'm trying to get this barometer of where it's coming from. Is it just because you don't want them to fall back to the tradition?
Yes.
But name me a game last year where it was, and remember the schedule last year that the Chargers had. Name me a game that you felt that the Chargers were not prepared for, that they ended, a game that they shouldn't have lost. And I'm not talking against like the big type games like Baltimore or the playoff opponents or anything like that. Like, I was scared during that Atlanta game because Justin Herbert was off that day and the defense had to win that game for you. So I get that. There we go. There we go. But was that more self-inflicted mistakes during the game?
I don't give a shit why it happens.
Okay. All right. So,
and hell, I might even say they should have won the. I'm not saying they should have won the Bucs game, but 40-17.
Remember, that game turned on its head in the second half.
Go to the Texans game.
Okay.
I'm scared, and not because I think the Raiders are great. I'm scared because this effing team goes out and beats Kansas City in Sao Paulo. Everyone's all bullish. Everyone's talking about how great Justin Herbert is. Everyone's talking about how this could be the year. And I'm scared shitless that all this is going to come crashing down, that we're going to see something catastrophic happen. My hopium, it just gets taken out of the vein. And I am just sad, right? Like, this Chargers team, I'm not even going to say the two letters that refer to the term that we've all heard too long. OP. I'm not even going to say the rest of the letters. But this mother effing team is so much better than Las Vegas right now that if they let this thing slide after they just win against the Chiefs of all they can go 2-0 in the game. The Chiefs could be 0-2 after this week. You could have a 2-game lead on the division. The opportunity is right there. It is right there. And if you go ahead and just shit all over yourself in this game, I'm going to be so sad. And so I am scared. I know what should happen. The Chargers team should roll. This should be like a 28-13 type of game. I'm going to predict that the Chargers win this one. But like this is
Sound really confident.
No, but this is the if the Chargers win this one, like Chargers fans are going to be like all over the place.
Oh my God, Dan,
but
I don't know.
For whatever reason, I just have and maybe this is just the historical Chargers fan, but like I have been burned. You have been burned. We have been burned so many times where like we were that close. I thought we were this. No. And so I think this is just like PTSD. We can't have nice things. I want that to just like glaze over. I want this to be a nice, easy 2-0. But I don't, for whatever reason, I'm scared. I'm nervous. And that just, again, might be because I care.
Brandon Staley broke Dan Wolkenstein.
You and the guitarist.
I have never seen Dan Wolkenstein crash out the way that he just did for the past minute. And we're talking about talking like this after a Chargers win. Dan, my friend, I think you just need to go and listen to like a loop of Jim Harbaugh at the press conference for like a good solid 2 hours. And like, don't watch it. Just have like one of those like little like meditation things. Just listen to it and just like lay down on the bed.
I need like that gong that just goes.
And find your inner peace. Because oh my God, my friend, you that's some extreme PTSD for you.
I know. I know. And I hope I'm wrong. I just forgot. Look how those real doer hours up in here. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong. And I'm usually the optimist. I don't even know if I am right now. But like for
you are definitely not.
I mean, I just went through all the reasons why they should win, right? I went through all the reasons. Like, this is one of those. The reality is, in the past, which I shouldn't be talking about the past, but like in the reality is, the Chargers don't get to 2-0. The Chargers don't get a 2-game lead in the AFC West. The Chargers don't beat 2 rivalries back to back. Like, I hope I'm wrong. Robert says, keep in mind, if they win this, the Donkeys are next. You win that game, and you have a huge lead in the division. Sure. Brad says, this is the statement game for us to put the league on notice. Yes, Daywalker Blade. I am losing it. I have lost it.
At least you admit it.
Yeah. Otto says, listen to Harbaugh will help. I really struggle listening to his press conferences. Really? I mean, sometimes he rambles and talks about literally nothing.
Yes, there is the strange liners that he drops that sometimes doesn't make any sense, but shit. I'll take the strange comments for 500, Bob, that lead to wins rather than the technical answers that make me sound smart that lead to losing and doing the exact same things over and over and over again with no accountability.
Forgot locale, by the way. Thank you. I don't know. Last time we played on the back end of a Monday Night Football doubleheader, we really charged it against Arizona.
Dan, I'm going to say one thing to you real quick. If Athir came on this show and gave you flack for your pick last week.
Thanks for that.
Hi,
Athir.
I had to do it, but if the Chargers go out and win on Monday night, he's going to have plenty to say to you.
Look, I've said the Chargers will win. But I told you, I'm scared.
Only after crashing out for the better part of 90 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll be fine, sir.
Okay.
If Jim Harbaugh can change my fucking perspective on this team from where I used to be for the better part of 3 years, he can change yours.
Well, I just realized that over 500 and something people watch me crash out on this, and it's Sunday morning. It's not even 10 a.m. Jeez. Peaky Bolt says, Dan, I need to. Dan, that's the old script. Yes, the crow-eating media can't wait to say, see, we told you Herbert isn't clutch. However, here is where coaching and veteran leadership will lead us to another win. 2-0. Cheers to that. couple other. I kind of like playing all 3 division rivals right off the bat, says Forgotten Locale. Get to gauge where we stand on the totem pole. Yeah, I agree. Also says he loves listening to Jesse Minter's press conferences. So even-keeled.
Jesse Minter's press conferences are great.
Yes.
Go listen to a Khalil Mack press conference for yourself, Dan. That's just going to make you
laugh
and feel motivated.
I was there the year, how hungry am I? Oh, you'll see. Or just wait, I forget what he said. He just went. I think that was the year that he went. I think that was the 3-sack game against the Raiders.
He said, I'll show you.
Yep. David hitting the panic button real quick, huh, Dan?
Again, after a win, Wolkenstein. After you just slayed the Giant.
I know. I'm just saying, like we've seen this story before. Don't pull me back, Jake. Don't pull me back.
I'm not trying to. I'm just more astonished that I just witnessed that. Because normally, your expectations would be like through the roof right now, much higher than mine.
Daywalker Blade. I was wrong about Keenan Allen disrupting the chemistry, and you were right, brother Jake.
Appreciate it. But it's not about being right or wrong. It's about wins and losses and who comes out and helps the team. And that's all that matters at the end of the day because we always root for the same franchise.
You sounded like, what's his name from Tommy Boy? Because that's what I am, and that's what they care about. Well, I make real car parts for the American working man because that's
right.
Who I am.
I did like a complete robot when I gave that line, didn't it?
Garrison Guitarist says 27-13. That's what I said. Is that what I said?
Wasn't what I said 24-17.
You said 21.
I said 24-17.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that's what I said. Anyways, Keenan Allen is a boss. Down year was due to Caleb Williams. Darth Dan is here. And Darth Dan is about to be leaving. Jake, Brad says, I'm so confident we beat them down. I bet $100 we win, and I never gamble. Was he baked when he did this?
Who cares?
All right, Jake, I clearly lost my mind today. Jake, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Let's go enjoy a Sunday of football where we don't have to worry about any Chargers games. Dan needs this day more than any of us right now. That is for sure. But go and enjoy your Sunday with whatever it is that you're doing. Let's get geared up for FTR week, Monday Night Football, Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Justin Herbert going to the Las Vegas Raiders for first place in the division. Let's go get a W.
First place on the line for this Los Angeles Chargers team. Can they go get it? I sure hope so. Again, Thomas Costello, thank you. For everyone who gave us those super chats today, thank you. You guys were all incredible. This is why we love doing this, man. You guys make this so much fun. Jeez, I'm still getting burned over here. Dan is, hey, honestly, that actually is, I think, what it is. I haven't eaten anything yet today.
Hey, everybody has their bad days, Dan.
I wouldn't even say it's a bad day.
Everybody has their crash out moments, Dan.
I'm just a little hungry.
Everybody should eat something before they come on the podcast so they don't say stuff that they don't mean.
Forgotten says, too bad this morning slate is buns. I don't know who's playing this morning.
I haven't actually checked what the morning slate was, to be perfectly honest.
Feels good, right? Like, we don't even care. It's like,
yeah, fuck it.
Shout out to Dicker about getting the accuracy record. Yeah. Bad Danny Boy. Look, we've reached the point where I'm being called Danny Boy. Shout out to Chumbawamba. Jake, this has been fun. Chargers fans, enjoy this. I don't know if people are smoking the brisket, whatever you guys got in the grill. Enjoy your Sunday. Jake took 10 seconds to realize Chumbawamba reference. But
you're a stickler for like the one-hit wonders of the generation. So the fact that you just dropped that one was hilarious.
I mean, it was Danny Boy. It's an easy one for me.
I got it. I know.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Last one, Jake. I have a question for you. What is your favorite one-hit wonder band or one-hit wonder song?
Oh. Lou Bega, Mama Number 5. No, I'm just playing. No, we don't need any of that. I was just like, I was thinking of all like the one-hit wonders, and I'm like, for some reason, that one came to mind.
Alien Ant Farm was one of them for me.
Orgy with Blue Monday, and their cover of that came to mind. That is not the right question to ask me at the end of a pod, but thanks so much.
Sub 41, how to get a fat lip. I mean,
hey, someone came in here with a good reference. Safety Dance by what is it? Men at Work, or Men with Hats, I think is the name of the group. Exactly.
We talking YMCA? Oh, that's too far. All right. Brad says, I've spoken something. We knew it. We knew. All right. I think we're officially unhinged. Jake, let's get out of here. Enjoy your Sundays. Thank you for those who called in to the Chargers Unleashed hotline. Again, you can call at any time at 323-902-7586. That's number 2, Chargers Unleashed hotline. Call in right after the game, during the game, halftime, on a random Monday night. Doesn't matter. We'll do our best. Stay awake for those on the East Coast watching this Chargers game. It's going to be 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. when this thing kicks off for you. But, Jake, I think we're done here. Let's get out of here. Let's go enjoy some football. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. Chargers Unleashed. This has been fun. And we'll talk to you next time on the next Chargers Unleashed.